All right, let's get into some game. I just had to go on my little rant real quick. We're going to get into some game right now. Today I want to talk about raggedy dating practices. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this, I did my Ustream show the other day, and there was a young lady who called up, and the young lady got a little testy with me because she was explaining her situation. She's basically in a relationship, and she called looking to find a city where there were eligible black men, in so many words. And I'm going to play a clip of it. And the clip is a little long, but bear with me on it. And this just goes to show some of the raggedy dating practices that a lot of us have out here in the game that we need to stop doing. Let me play this clip real quick of this young lady who called into the Ustream show. And by the way, my Ustream show, I usually do them on Wednesdays and Sunday nights. I'm not going to do one tonight. I'm handling business, but I'm going to do the next Ustream show this coming Sunday. I do them every Sunday, guaranteed. But let me play a clip of this young lady talking about her situation. So check it out, and don't mind the quality. The quality is a little trippy because it's Ustream, but listen to it.
No, actually, I'm probably going to get in trouble for calling up because I'm supposed to be in bed right now. I had to make a mad dash and come back.
Wait. Well, you stay with your dude?
Yeah.
Okay, well, say that. Come on, don't be scared. You know, don't be scared. And if he comes in the room and if we hear the phone plank down real hard, we'll know to call the authorities for some help.
Okay.
We don't want no Ike Turner action jumping off in there. So what's going on with you? What's happening, young lady? What's on your mind?
Oh, not much. I mean, I'm just in school, and I'm stuck out here in Austin, Texas, and it's kind of slim pickings around here because it's a lot of turnover and a lot of slim pickings, and so I just, I'm probably going to, I'm about to graduate, so I'm probably going to move around. And I just want to know what are the thriving black communities to interact with black people a little bit more, because Austin is a little dry on that.
Houston, babe. Have you been to Houston?
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of Texas, actually.
Oh, so you want to get out the whole
I'm trying to live around. Like, I'm going to try and find an internship somewhere, probably like Atlanta or D.C. or, just somewhere black, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
You don't get no blacker than Atlanta. You definitely want to go to Atlanta. Now, your dude that you staying with, now, how long y'all been dating? Let's get on that. That's important.
Oh, this is just temporary after a long thing, so I'm in the transition.
Wait, we got to get into this now. Hold on. So you got you a temporary...
No, we don't. See, I tried to ask a general question about cities. That's where I want to focus at.
I want to know what's happening with this dude. I want to know.
Well, maybe one of these other ladies want to talk about some dudes and stuff, but I just wanted to ask about where to meet black dudes in black cities where there's thriving going on. That's what I'm talking about.
But this is what I'm talking about. So you got to listen. I can tell you all day long, but it sounds like your shit is raggedy right now. So
it's not wacky. I'm actually about to graduate from school, so that's the wacky part about it. But that's where I'm focused at. So
the thing is, let's say you met a fly dude. I can tell you where to go tomorrow and meet a thorough dude. But you meet this thorough dude, you're laying up with another dude already, so your shit is raggedy. So it was not going to work. You think you can see a lot of sisters like you try to get into other situations, and you don't really close the ends of your old situation. You understand that? And that's where the problem comes in. It don't work that way. You got to close the ends on that shit and come out with a clean slate. Y'all be bringing y'all bullshit and your problems to new niggas. And we ain't trying to deal with that shit. You understand? I know you're getting a little testy, but I'm just telling you how a fly nigga's going to think. We're going to be like, what's going on with your living situation? We're going to get into your background a little bit. I want to know what's going on. Who's the last nigga you date? And if you tell me some shit, well, I'm kind of temporarily staying with this nigga. Bye, bitch. That's how I'm coming at you. You dig? Hello? Okay, I guess I must have been too real for her. Shit. Her ass.
No, I said okay.
Are you here? Hello?
Yes?
Is this nigga jumping on you right now? Do you need to cough 3 times so we can come do something to help you?
Okay.
Are you all right?
I'm perfectly fine.
All right.
I'm here. Hello.
Is the nigga choking you?
Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you for your advice. And
So anyway, that was the call. That was the young lady. And basically, she lived with a guy, like I said, and she was trying to find cities where there were other eligible guys, and she was talking about the situation she was in was only temporary, and that's Raggedy. And I know it may have seemed that I was being harsh, but I had to be 100% with this young lady. And I always keep it 100% with everybody because we got to cut out those raggedy dating practices. The problem in a lot of relationships is that people bring in that baggage from old relationships and they don't bring closure correctly. You leave a relationship raggedy, then you start a new one just as raggedy. Like this young lady right here is a train wreck waiting to happen. When you have to sneak on the phone and you got to get up in the middle of the night and you're doing all this slick stuff, that creates a negative aura. That creates a negative energy. And a lot of you women are just not as slick as you think you are. A lot of you women, your game has to be regulated to really dealing with simps and suckers. Because a guy who's somewhat on top of his game, he's going to know something is up. See that little game right there? A guy who's on top of his shit is going to know something is up. Even if he says he might say something, he might not say something. A lot of times, a lot of dudes won't confront you right away. They'll soak in the information and just kind of sit on it and see where it's going. When they see that a woman is being somewhat deceptive, they get that information and they just kind of sit back on it and just let it accumulate. They see how deep you're going to go with it. But a lot of you women are just not as slick as you think you are. It's better to go ahead and try to resolve whatever relationship issues you have. If that situation is temporary, go ahead and end it if you don't have to be in it before you try to get into something else. Because that's going to create a negative vibe when you meet the next guy and you're running that little sucker ass raggedy game that you're running. Because if I can peep it out over the phone, dudes that you're trying to date will peep it out. If he's on top of his game, if he's a thorough guy. I'm not talking about no simps. A simp will go for anything you tell him. And that's the problem, ladies. Only simps will listen to that raggedy game you're running. And then you get frustrated with dealing with the simps. You wonder why there are no good dudes in and out your life. You think that a good dude could just come along and change you. But the thing is, you can't come to a good dude with raggedy relationship baggage. And that's what you're doing when you get in situations like this young lady. And this young lady who called up, she's not a rarity. A lot of you sisters out there get down just like this girl right here. You got to sneak around, you bouncing from dude to dude. A lot of you ladies get down like that. And a lot of you fellas out there with simp bones in your body, you deal with women like that. So this show is for men and women right now. I want all you guys to listen in because I'm going to get on some of you guys who go for that raggedy ass nonsense too. But women who try to run it, you only can run it on certain dudes, ladies. So it's not even worth the time or effort. You need to get on out that relationship. Get yourself right, get your mind right, then start thinking about getting back into the dating arena. This woman is already up in a nigga's house or up in her house or laying up with a dude, campaigning for some other dudes. And her relationship is clearly not working, especially because this woman is laying up with a dude. They living together or spending the night with each other. So there must be some type of seriousness going on with their relationship. See, the thing is, ladies and men, y'all bring a lot of raggedy baggage from relationships. You have to bring some kind of closure. I don't like having blown up relationships. When things go bad, you're cursing each other out. You got to be slick with one another. You got to sneak. You got to lie. You got to be deceptive. That's raggedy. There's no other word for it. That's just raggedy. I just like to say, hey, if it's not working out, I like to stay cool with you. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to let you do what you do. We'll be cool. I like being cool with all my exes. I hate when things just get blown up. If I feel somebody's doing some slick shit, I'm going to call it out and deal with it accordingly as early as I can. I'm not going to be the type of person, or you shouldn't be the type of person, to want to do slick shit to your significant other. All the slick shit, it never works out. When you have to do slick things, or when you know your significant other is doing slick things, that's just raggedy. You don't tolerate that on either end. But when you leave a relationship with raggedy baggage and you don't take time to get your mind right, you should take at least, minimally, a week at least to say, okay, men and women, when you get out of a relationship, just take a week off to just kind of get your mind right, because the minute you jump into something else right away, because some of y'all will get out of a relationship on Monday, and then Monday night or Tuesday morning, you out here campaigning, you laying up with somebody else. But when you get out of a relationship and the relationship is raggedy and you don't take time to get your mind right, you have raggedy residue. When you have that raggedy residue on you, you need a minute to shake that raggedy residue off. That's why the little down period, that's why that's needed. You take a little time out for yourself to shake that residue off yourself, to cleanse yourself, to purge yourself, to get that bullshit out your system, to think back and say, okay, this is what I did wrong. This is what I tolerated. This is what I should have charged to the game. You make a little assessment of what's going on, and then you get back into the game. You build your strength back up. You reload. It's like shooting a gun, or shooting like you play those little video games and you shoot, and then you gotta go and get more ammunition. A lot of people don't get more ammo. So you go back into a situation, you're drained, and you go back into the arena, you have no ammo, you're just as weak. When you start weak, it's going to end weak, and it becomes a cycle, just a weak-ass cycle. But again, like I said, you have to purge that raggedy residue that came from the old relationship. Because if you don't, you bring that residue with you to the new joint, all you're doing is planting raggedy seeds. You plant raggedy seeds because, like this young lady who called up, you have to sneak on the phone. You have to be deceptive. If you meet a new guy, you're going to have to bullshit him. And when you do that, with all that sneaking around, you're leaving some raggedy, you starting something else raggedy. Now, a guy is going to be somewhat skeptical, because a lot of men aren't as dumb as you think they are. There's some dumbass simps out here, but a lot of you women are not as slick as you think you are. A lot of guys know when you're running some whack-ass game, if he's on top of his game. So guys are going to take that into consideration. Even if he's somewhat believing what you're saying, in the back of his mind, he's going to be thinking, okay, this woman she sounds like she's on some bullshit. That's always going to be on the back of the guy's mind. She sounds like she's on some straight up bullshit. So that's a raggedy seed that you're planting, and the guy's going to keep that in the back of his mind. And women too, fellas. A lot of you dudes, y'all leave these janky ass relationships and you go jump into something else, starting another relationship, and you haven't brought closure to the last joint. And the women, they peeping you out. They know that you on some raggedy shit. They know that you're not being 100. So this goes both ways. But with this lady who called up, she probably thought that I was going to give her some like Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey advice, and I'm not shitting on those brothers. But with her situation, I can't even co-sign that, because that's a train wreck waiting to happen, like I said. And when you guys call me up on the show telling me about women who are BSing around, these are the women that you guys are dealing with. When you guys called me up saying, hey man, I met this girl, she seems real cool. She lives down in Texas. But every time I call her at night, she don't answer her phone. Those are the women you are dealing with. The woman who called up, the woman who's laying up with her dude, talking about it's a temporary situation. See, these women be trying to leave these situations and jump right into the next one. These are the women that you guys are dealing with. You meet her, she's only text messaging you. You can hardly talk to her on the phone. You see her once every weekend, if you do see her. She's giving you the runaround until she gets her little situation straight. And then when she gets with you, the shit and the vibe is so raggedy, you're skeptical now. And now that you're skeptical, you're going to start doing some low-key slick shit, because then you're going to go on the offensive. You're going to start doing some stuff out of spite, because you're going to feel like this woman has done some deceptive things to you. So it's a whole energy that you guys create by dating Raggedy. Just cut all that raggedy stuff out so you can get into a new situation with a clean slate. And again, this goes for men and women. There was a story came out about that Duke Lacrosse rape accuser. Y'all remember a few years ago, this sister, she was a stripper, and she accused those white boys of raping her. Then they found out that her ass was crazy as cat shit. Then they found out that she assaulted one of her ex-dudes. And I mean, she just has a history of being crazy as cat shit. Well, she's in the news again. She was dating this other dude. They were dating for a couple of weeks. Some simp moved her and her kids into his house after knowing this chick for 2 weeks. She ended up stabbing the dude, and then she gets arrested. I have no sympathy for the dude who cupcaked and caped that woman up. The Captain Save-A-Hole who brought that woman into his house, bringing a woman in with all that raggedy baggage. This woman is known nationwide for being a raggedy, basic ass female, an extra average female. And you chose to cape that up and bring up in your house, and then you wonder why you got stabbed? Fellas, you can't accept that raggedy nonsense. When you see women with all this raggedy baggage, you don't bring that in your home. You don't shit and eat in the same place. Hell, even moist-ass Mr. C knew how to go to a car and get his little wang sucked. You don't bring that around your house. You don't bring raggediness around your house. And that's the thing. Back in the days, dudes would go to places for raggedy behavior. They would call it the red light district or the track or something. You go somewhere for raggedy shit. Now y'all bring raggedy shit all up in your house. So please, everybody, let's stop the raggedy behavior. Let's stop the raggedy dating practices, and let's keep it PI